Hi, my name's Paul Goebel. I'm the technical project manager here at BlastOne, and today we're going to be walking through the MistBlaster Combo Skid. A few things we're going to go over are the actual MistBlaster cabinet box. This box is mounted to the outside of the pot to inject the water into your blast hose. A few things inside the box are air actuated ball valves. This is where the water actually flows through. So you'll have a MistBlast function and a washdown function. You'll have your 5-to-1 pump that actually pushes your water to your air actuated ball valves. Other components in here are your auto air valve. So this is only going to kick on when you press your dead man trigger, either MistBlast function, your dry function, or your washdown function, or blowdown. This is going to help convey abrasive water and push air through your system. On the MistBlaster cabinet, we have a couple features for your emergencies. You have your e-stop, push-pull. Then you have your 4 functions: your blowdown, washdown, dry blast, MistBlast. And this is how you control how much water you're putting through your system in the MistBlast function. If you're in the washdown function, this has no control how much water you're going to use to the system. We've also made the system bi-powered, so you can use air or you can use an electric actuated deadman system, and as well as a ball valve for priming the pump for your water. So what we've done with the Combo Skid is we've implemented a breathing system that, 1, gives you clean air, and 2, actually monitors your air for carbon monoxide when you're using diesel or inside an area that could have potential carbon monoxide. So this is a GX4. This is going to monitor your carbon monoxide levels up to 10 and 20 ppms. It'll alarm at 10 ppm, giving you a warning, letting you know so you can get out of the area or disconnect and move out and get fresh air. So this runs off 12 volt, or you can have 110 volt. We supply with battery clips, that way you can attach to the battery that's located on the unit. And on the back side of that, we actually have the Radex. So on this unit specifically, this is a 2-outlet Radex, 125 PSI max rating. You want to make sure you're regulated down to 125 so you don't pop the PRV. For these units, you're going to change the filter out either on a 3-month basis, or you're going to do it every 400 hours. We typically, when they come in, a data's thrown on, we replace the filter and send it back out, comes back in 3 months later, same process. We have a Deliquescent air dryer. So this is a 400 CFM air dryer with salt tablets inside to remove as much moisture as possible through the system. Attached to that is an aftercooler. So when compressed air makes its way through the system, the air is going to travel through the aftercooler, expand rapidly, and when the expansion happens, it cools and creates moisture, and the aftercooler blows any excess moisture out before it makes its way through the Deliquescent, where that Deliquescent is going to pull even more moisture out of the system before it makes its way into the pot. So the thing with our Combo Skid is it's water injected. You don't mix the water with the abrasive like you would a slurry machine. The water actually is injected into the hose or the blast hose, and it encapsulates the abrasive before it makes its way to the substrate. So typically you'll see typically you see dust chiming into the air, but here you'll see actual vapor into the air, and then it'll cascade down to the ground. Here we have our 50-gallon tank. This tank will typically last you about a full day on one person. We got it down to a pint per minute for the actual MistBlast function. So a typical 8-hour a day, this whole tank should last you. One thing that's pretty common is, hey, I'm not getting any water through my nozzle. Typically, it's because the pump has cavitated, and you can prevent that simply by priming the pump with this ball valve over here. So another issue we find common is, hey, my pot's puking a whole bunch. I'm not getting into shutdown. I'm getting just nothing but abrasive. What we typically find is the auto air valve. If abrasive could backtrack its way to the auto air valve, it typically stops the plunger from opening up or closing. When that happens, it can either stay closed or stay open. Typically it stays open, and the blaster will have to figure out how to walk all the way back to the machine to shut it off, either e-stop or just shutting the choke valve. Here we have the tear valve. Typical issues that we'll see with these outside of normal wear and tear is the plunger sticking open and causing just an immense amount of abrasive to spew from your nozzle. So you'll run really rich, almost puking out. An issue that typically rises with abrasive getting stuck in between the tungsten carbide plunger and then the housing, and it creates too much friction for it to close. Another issue we can find is the diaphragm within the tear valve has a small tear or hole in it. So on an initial hit with the blast, with the dead man, you'll find that you'll get some spewing of abrasive, but it'll slowly die and close. And that there's a weep hole back here that you could fill on the breather vent, see if there's air blowing out continuously. You'll know that your diaphragm has a rupture in it, or it's a ruptured diaphragm. Other issues we see on site are we're not getting water. So after the priming, troubleshooting steps, we typically have them come over here and decouple these lines. Sometimes abrasive can backtrack and clog these lines. Pulling these out and just shooting water out just to clear the lines and then plugging them back in typically does the trick. If you have any more questions, call or click the link below.